I don't want to sound like a top tier glazer right now, but I'll be completely honest with you. I do believe that Tom Cruise is a living legend right now. Even though I do not agree with his beliefs about Scientology, I think Scientology is ass, but Tom Cruise as an actor is so crazy. He is one of the craziest actors that I have ever seen. The pure dedication that he has for his craft. He is really mastering how to be a top tier stuntman. He's really mastering on how to make his scenes feel so believable that when you're in the movie theater, you're literally at the edge of your seat, biting your nails, you're scratching your hair, you're pulling your hair out of your head because you're thinking to yourself, wow, is this nigga trying to kill himself just so that people can watch his movies? Is this nigga really suicidal that he is trying to jump off of a very, very high mountain with just one parachute? And the thing is, there is no CGI, there is no green screen. This is real. Tom Cruise really does jump off of the highest mountains, and he only has one parachute. Imagine if that parachute doesn't work, then what happens? And Tom Cruise is a really, really crazy man because remember his previous movies, especially in the Mission Impossible franchise, he does real stunts. He does not fake, he does not sugarcoat, he does not manipulate the audience into thinking he's doing real stunts when in actuality he is doing fake stunts. No, Tom Cruise has done real stunts before, man, like in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 that was released 2 years ago. Tom Cruise really jumps from a huge tall mountain into a free fall, man. It's like Tom Cruise is trolling and playing with death. And when I watched that 2 years ago, I was so mesmerized to see someone sacrificing his body just for our pure entertainment, man. And even though, to be honest with you, I did watch Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, but prior to that, I did not watch any other Mission Impossible movies in the franchise. So as I was looking up all of the crazy stunts that Tom Cruise was doing, this nigga is insane, bro. He actually climbed the Burj Khalifa tower, bro. It's so crazy because this tower is so high that I do believe it's one of the highest towers in the entire world, and he climbed that just so that he can shoot Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And another thing that Tom Cruise did in the Mission Impossible franchise was he pilots and falls out of a helicopter in Mission Impossible Fallout in 2015. Another crazy stunt that Tom Cruise did is he held his breath underwater for 6 minutes in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. And the last crazy stunt that Tom Cruise did that I will talk about is Tom Cruise, he really hangs off of a side of a plane in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. He really did that. There was no green screen, there was no CGI, there was no stunt double. Tom Cruise did that all by himself. He filmed it, he did it. The only edit he did in that scene was to edit the saturation and the coloring, but that scene was real. So Tom Cruise is really passionate about his craft. He is passionate about his work, and we can see this passion bleed into the latest installment into the Mission Impossible franchise. And man, Tom Cruise did not sugarcoat anything in this recent installment, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, because he did so many crazy stunts, so many crazy scenes. There was one scene in the movie that it was towards the middle to the end of the movie where we see Ethan Hunt has to put the key inside this submarine that was submerged all the way down in the bottom of the ocean. Now, to be honest, the distance he went underwater, I don't know exactly how far he really went down, but he was actually submerged underwater, and he had this submarine type suit, so he went all the way down there. He got the key in there, and Tom Cruise was still underwater for at least 20 minutes. I was thinking to myself, this nigga is suicidal. He's playing with his life. He's playing with death, man. And there is a crazy scene that it literally solidified that I think Tom Cruise is one of the greatest actors that is living right now, because towards the end of the movie, when Tom Cruise, he is battling Gabriel, and Tom Cruise, he needs this passkey that Gabriel took when Gabriel, he killed Luther towards the beginning of the movie. And the way that Gabriel kills Luthor is he tricked everyone. He tricked Ethan. He tricked everyone on Ethan's team. And Luthor, he was on his deathbed. Luthor was about to die due to a sickness or an illness. But Luthor, he had this passkey, and he was trying to give this passkey to Ethan before, but Ethan told Luthor that it's okay. I know for a fact I will see you again. You can hold on to this passkey, so later I will see you again and you can tell me what you really want to tell me. But unfortunately, Ethan's plans on seeing Luthor in the way that he wanted to see Luthor is going to be bastardized, and it's going to be tainted because of Gabriel's plans. Because when Gabriel locks Luthor inside of this prison dungeon type of cell, Luthor, he has nowhere to go, and Gabriel plants a bomb inside that same room that Luthor is at. So when Ethan goes to the place, he sees where Luthor is located at. This scene was so sad because we are witnessing Luthor's final moments, and Luthor, he tells Ethan that, look, this bomb, we do not have any time to talk. We don't have any time to try to help me to escape from this predicament. I already tried to smash the locks. I already tried to remove the deadbolts. It's not going to work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disarm this bomb, but I'm going to do it in time so you can have enough time to run away and to flee. But unfortunately, I'm going to stay here. And seeing Ethan being drowned with anger, being drowned with sadness, witnessing Luthor's final moments is so crazy. But when the bomb goes off, Ethan now realizes that he needs to not only avenge Luthor's death, but he has to get this passkey that Gabriel took from Luthor. So that's why I had to explain this entire reason why Ethan is hunting Luthor down for this passkey. Because if Ethan does not get this passkey, and if Ethan does not put this passkey into this other mechanism, the entire world is going to be destroyed by this artificial intelligence supervillain called the Entity. But when Ethan is chasing Gabriel, Gabriel at first ran away by driving away. Ethan and Gabriel were going on a high-speed chase together, but that high-speed chase eventually becomes a disaster, so it causes Ethan to run on foot. But it's too late. Gabriel has already gotten on a plane, man, and this yellow plane that Gabriel is on, Gabriel has already used that plane to fly away. So Ethan had to think fast, and there was this red plane that was trying to kill him. But Ethan now goes under the red plane. He grabs onto the red plane. He latches onto it. And bro, I thought this was CGI. I thought this was fake, but it wasn't. Ethan held onto the red plane. And when they were in the sky, I'll be honest with you, man, I was biting my teeth. I was worried that this nigga is going to die. But I kept on checking myself. I kept on reminding myself that this is a movie, and they would not have released this movie if Tom Cruise died in this scene. But it was crazy to see Tom Cruise, aka Ethan. He was hanging onto the plane. He was literally holding on for his dear life. And when he eventually got onto the top of the plane, they were so high in the air that I thought that, wow, one little slip and Tom Cruise is dead. So Tom Cruise, he is a suicidal maniac, but he's doing it for the love of the game. He's doing it for the love of the sport. He's doing it for our entertainment and our enjoyment, man. And when Ethan eventually gets a hold of the red plane, he punches the pilot. He gets the pilot out of the red plane, so the pilot eventually dies, and Ethan now is flying the red plane, but the red plane has been compromised due to the pilot's incompetence. So now the red plane, it's so ass. The red plane can barely even fly. And to make matters worse, Gabriel, the weird opponent, the big op, the big hater that Gabriel is, Gabriel, not only has he killed Luthor, not only has he ruined Ethan's life up until this point, but Gabriel is trying to manipulate Ethan and his entire team so that Ethan can be the one to give Gabriel the key, so that Gabriel can have the real control for the Entity, for the artificial intelligence that is threatening to destroy the world. So Gabriel is trying to ram Ethan from the sky. He wants Ethan to die on that plane. But the crazy stunt that happens is when Ethan, he is battling Gabriel, the red plane he is flying is completely malfunctioning. It's about to explode. So right as soon as it explodes, it's so crazy to see that Tom Cruise, aka Ethan, he jumps from the red plane onto the yellow plane mid-air. They were so high in the sky. They were higher than a lot of the mountains that was in the surrounding area. I was thinking to myself, wow, Tom Cruise, he is a daredevil. Tom Cruise is a real stuntman. He is one of the last real actors that we are seeing, that we are witnessing in real time, bro. So we need to actually cherish Tom Cruise right now, because when he eventually passes or when he eventually retires, we are probably not going to see an actor like him for the foreseeable future, man. And Tom Cruise, aka Ethan, bro, he was hanging on to the yellow plane. Even though he latched himself onto the yellow plane, Gabriel was trying to kill him. He was trying to stab him. He was trying to punch him while Ethan was still hanging on to the yellow plane. He was also even maneuvering the yellow plane so that when he goes left, he goes right, he goes up, or he goes down, Ethan, he is dangling onto the yellow plane. And there was one little scene where Ethan, he almost fell. He was holding on with just one arm. So I was sweating. I'm not even gonna lie to you, a lot of the other people that were in the movie theater were sweating as well, bro. But Ethan, he eventually got onto the yellow plane. He broke Gabriel's arm, and this caused Gabriel to scream in pain. But then Gabriel was still trying to stab Ethan, but somehow Ethan got in control of the cockpit. Then he now kicked Gabriel out of the cockpit, but Gabriel was still trying to hang on, and Gabriel's dumbass was saying that you're the only one here that does not have a parachute. I have a parachute. But when Gabriel's dumbass now actually ejected the parachute, he did not notice, he did not realize that the sheer force of ejecting the parachute at that height and with that speed caused Gabriel to now scrape his skull onto the wings of the yellow plane, and that killed Gabriel instantly. So Gabriel is dead. But even though Gabriel just died right now, Ethan is still flying a malfunctioned plane, because during that fight, when Gabriel and Ethan were fighting each other, the plane got compromised. So Ethan is trying to steady the plane. He realizes that it's too late as he's trying to put the passkey into the little codex that he has. He is trying to do it, but he realizes he needs to get out of the plane before he can do that. So as he does that, he now uses the parachute, but the parachute not catches on fire. So time is ticking, time is running so fast. Ethan, he is trying to put the passkey in. Everyone is counting on him. Grace is counting on him. Paris, every single person is counting on Ethan right now. Benji is counting on him. Benji literally almost died, but Grace, as she is waiting for Ethan to put the passkey in, just at the nick of the moment, just at the little last second before the artificial AI known as the Entity launches all of the missiles. And all of these missiles were from the United States, the UK, Russia, India, Israel, and many more countries. The artificial AI was trying to cause the end of the world. Thank God Ethan, he successfully puts that passkey into the codex, and Ethan prevented the end of the world as we know it, man. But bro, I'll be completely honest with you, man. Ethan, aka Tom Cruise, in this movie was so crazy, and there was even some little small stunts that he did. Even the hand-to-hand fight that he had with some people, how he was successfully maneuvering knife fights and gunfights, even though some of those scenes obviously were choreographed. Just seeing Ethan's sheer tenacity, just seeing Tom Cruise showing a lot of passion into these scenes, it's so breathtaking in my honest opinion. I know I've been glazing this nigga throughout the entire video, but remember, I am not a fan of his beliefs in Scientology, but I am a fan man, of the passion that Tom Cruise inserts into his movies, man. So I'll be completely honest with you, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning is a great movie in my honest opinion. It is so heart racing. A lot of the stunts, a lot of the scenes, a lot of the fight scenes is so crazy. And it's even also crazy to see Angela Bassett. She's the president of the entire United States in this movie. And it was also funny seeing how Ethan proved everyone that he was right. Everyone was doubting him. The president was doubting him. The Navy lieutenants, the Navy sergeants, every single person that even were on his side, even Grace and Benji were doubting Ethan, but Ethan proved everyone wrong, and he proved that he was right by saving the world at the end of the movie, man. I highly recommend everyone to check out this movie. This movie is really great in my honest opinion. But that's the end of the video, man. What do you guys think about Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning? I'm out. Peace.